over and over again to keep that door locked. You never know who's going to show up.
You never do you?
Where'd you call me from? The parking lot?
Yeah, I was in the parking lot.
Hey, by the way, we've already had a $1,000 winner down at Harbor Nissan with a scratch-off ticket. Bring in that sticky note that was on the front page of the Sun Herald yesterday, and you can still take it down there. They've already had a $1,000 instant cash winner yesterday. The sticky note can be redeemed at any day during the sale. And if they missed it Thursday, hey, grab it off the Charlotte Sun tomorrow or drop by the sale for other ways to win a brand new 2012 Nissan Altima or 25 grand in cash. So check that out as well. Good morning, everybody. Hippo's in the house, 8:37. Gino joins us fresh off his trip to the U.S. Open. As my on-course, hillier than Augusta, you said.
Yeah. It's
Now, you had played that before, hadn't you?
I played Olympic when I was in my late 30s, and I had a caddy, but I was in much better shape. I had not consumed quite as much cognac.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, but I was still a little more respectable physically.
Physically.
Mentally, I've been always phenomenal.
Yeah.
Where's the third wheel?
He's next door.
Charlie's on vacation.
Charlie's on vacation.
He's running the show himself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And talking.
Both
That's what
buttons.
you should be filming. But so the crowds looked phenomenal.
Huge.
You were there on Saturday.
Saturday, all day.
The El Foldo day for Tiger.
Once we watched him for the first, we picked him up. We walked 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he was already 3 over par after 4. I mean, he just bogeyed everything.
And it was not pretty bogeys either.
No, he was, he fell apart.
He really did, which shocked many people.
Furyk did his job.
Yeah.
Yeah, Furyk was real solid all day.
Until 16.
Yeah, but he still was in the last group on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's when he fell apart.
Yeah, on 16. Yeah, that was it. But this young kid, Webb Simpson, somebody did a story on one of the golf channels, whether it be NBC or the Golf Channel, did a huge expose, not an expose, but a story on Webb Simpson. And it was a great story. Why they picked him, who knows? But they did. Up-and-coming young golfer, married with one kid on the way.
Not going to play in the British because Mom is about to pop.
That's right.
Yeah, they was on the radio yesterday.
Yeah, which I thought was kind of neat.
Yeah, well, I thought he was a pretty interesting guy when they started talking about who he was. I mean, he was like, he came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and they did the same thing with Will McKenzie.
Yeah.
Because he is McDermott caddied with him.
I believe, yeah.
Yeah, and they said he's lived in an igloo for a year, canoed. I mean, just he's done everything strange. He's a self-made kind of guy. And
The Webb Simpson story was somewhat reminiscent of the Mickelson deal the year he lost on 18 with Payne Stewart beat him when Amy was about to fold, and he had to play.
Amy was about to give birth.
Give
Be
birth.
nice.
And Amy's a beautiful girl.
Yeah.
But remember, he had the plane sitting with the engines running just in case he got the phone call that says, no matter where I am on the golf course, I'm out of here.
Or if I'm even in contention for
Yeah.
the U.S. Open, I'm going to leave. They got to plan that better so it doesn't happen, during that time of year, you would think.
Well, that's just golf being rude.
Yeah.
No, it's a failure to understand the rhythm method.
But it was also kind of neat to see Billy Casper and Jack Fleck.
Yep.
That they had in the booth. That could have been Saturday. You may have missed that, but
I didn't see that.
That may have to be Saturday where they had both Casper and Fleck, who just came out with books this year. But the homage that Webb Simpson played to Arnold Palmer after he won it all.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was on the Wake Forest scholarship, the Arnold Palmer scholarship at Wake Forest. Didn't know where he was going to go to school, and went to Wake Forest, and Mr. Palmer came to visit him, which I thought was kind of neat.
Mr. Palmer comes to visit.
Yeah.
Could be the title of my next book.
Yeah. How did you find the crowds? And this is something I'm going to ask both of you this morning. It's going to be at between 5 and 6 this morning. Dirk Van did a
supportive.
Were they?
Yeah.
Everybody?
I didn't see any hostility. People were basically rooting for. The thing I was talking to somebody yesterday about, what you forgot, or you don't realize, is the acceleration of the ball off the golf club from the professional. It just screams off the driver and off any shot they hit. It just explodes off the thing. And whereas mine is like
Blonk.
Yeah. It's like I have a cashmere insert in my gloves. It's like my shots go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, did you hit it? Yeah, it's way down there.
I get to ride on this one.
But with golf, and the question, Dirk Van did a thing this morning about manners. And at the U.S. Open, I would think people are scrambling to get, the please and thank yous are gone. I always pick on New Yorkers and people in New Jersey at Vasani's by saying, when you guys moved down there, did you have a problem with the language, wrecking you all, please and thank you, And everybody laughs, but I have found down here, especially the Soto High School kids, and Billy says this all the time, we all do, how polite they are. How young kids today call you sir and mister down here. The old Southern tradition, and it's very good. And I hear that and see that all the time. I have forgotten that a lot, to say please and thank you.
San Franciscans are unique.
Yeah.
The old expression goes, the only thing wrong with San Francisco is San Franciscans. If you got rid of them, it'd be a fabulous place to live.
That dour? The real?
Well, they're basically a people. The city has no sense of humor about itself. You take San Francisco very seriously.
Oh,
you can't call it Frisco. You remember years ago when the Niners were playing on TV?
Yeah.
And I think it was in Dallas, and they had Dallas and they had Frisco, and NBC was besieged with phone calls about getting the hold of the stadium to change the name, which they ultimately did and put up San Fran on the scoreboard.
Which would bother me even more. San Fran, but San Francisco. How are the people at the Open, though? Held at one of the most prestigious spots in all of the Bay Area.
Well, the people, I'd say, didn't interact with a lot of them except to exchange comments about, unbelievable, what a shot, blah, blah, blah. Uh-oh, this, but other than that, we sort of kept to our, not to us, it's something to keep to yourself with 25,000 people, but getting around wasn't a problem. The only problem we had was the terrain changes. I mean, right now, once I start climbing hills, I need oxygen. And it's silly.
Okay, I'm trying to think what hole I can take you to beat you at Kingswood.
Any hole. That's what I told my son. I said, I could never play out here or live out here anymore. He says, why? Because I have to play on a flat golf course.
Flat golf course, there it is. We'll be right back. Tommy's got a weather for that lady that's waiting for Tommy's voice.